Watch someone closely after the room empties. After the audience is gone. After no one is left to impress. That's where you find out who they actually are. Most people think confidence is something you perform. The posture. The voice. The way you walk into a room like you own it. But the Stoics believed something very different. They believed real confidence has nothing to do with how you act when people are watching. It has everything to do with how you act when they're not. Let's start with a question. Who are you when there's no one left to convince? Not your coworkers. Not your followers. Not your family. Just you, alone, with your own thoughts, in a quiet room with nothing to perform for. If that question makes you uncomfortable, you're not alone. Most people never actually ask it. They spend their whole lives building a version of themselves for other people to see, and they never stop long enough to check what's underneath it. Marcus Aurelius asked it constantly. As Emperor of Rome, he had more audience than almost any human being in history. Armies. Senators. Millions of citizens watching his every decision. And yet, in his private journal, writings never meant to be read by anyone, ever, he wasn't performing for any of them. He was correcting himself. Questioning himself. Holding himself to a standard no one was forcing on him and no one was watching him meet. That is the first sign of real confidence. It doesn't need witnesses. Epictetus taught something that cuts right through the modern obsession with image. He said that what other people think of you is not up to you. It was never up to you. So building your confidence around their opinion is building your entire foundation on something you don't even control. Think about how much of modern confidence is actually performance. The way people curate what they post before anyone sees it. The way people speak differently depending on who's in the room with them. The way praise feels incredible, and criticism feels unbearable, because the whole structure was built to depend on other people's approval in the first place. That's not confidence. That's a performance with a very fragile audience holding it up. Real confidence, the Stoic kind, is built somewhere else entirely. It's built in the moments no one sees. Whether you keep a promise to yourself when no one would ever know if you broke it. Whether you do the hard thing when there's no applause waiting on the other side of it. Whether you can sit alone with your own thoughts and actually respect the person you find there. Seneca wrote that a good character does not need witnesses. Read that again. A good character does not need witnesses. That single idea quietly dismantles almost everything modern culture teaches about confidence. We're taught confidence is loud. Visible. Performed for a crowd, measured in likes, followers, and reactions. The Stoics taught the exact opposite. Confidence is quiet. Private. Proven in solitude, when nothing is being measured at all. Here's a simple but uncomfortable test. Think of the last time you did something impressive, followed through on a goal, showed discipline, made a hard choice under pressure. Now ask yourself honestly, would you have done it if absolutely no one would ever find out? If the answer is yes, that's real confidence. That's Stoic confidence. If the answer is no, that's performance. And performance always needs an audience to survive. Take the audience away, and it collapses instantly. This isn't about becoming a hermit or rejecting connection with other people. It's about locating where your sense of worth actually comes from in the first place. Marcus Aurelius wrote that very little is needed to make a happy life, it's all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Not in your way of being seen. In your way of thinking. So how do you actually build this kind of confidence, in practice, starting today? Not by seeking more approval. By needing it less and less over time. Start small. Do something disciplined today that nobody will ever know about. Make your bed with the same care whether or not someone will see it. Keep a promise to yourself the same way you'd keep one to a close friend, without needing to announce it to anyone. Every time you act with integrity in private, you're making a deposit into a version of confidence that can't be taken from you, because it was never given to you by anyone else in the first place. No one gave it to you, so no one can take it away. This is why applause-based confidence is so fragile. The moment the applause stops, so does the confidence behind it. But Stoic confidence, the kind built alone, tested alone, proven alone, doesn't disappear when the audience leaves. Because it was never dependent on the audience to begin with. It was never borrowed. It was earned in private, one unwitnessed choice at a time. Epictetus lived this out completely. Born a slave, with no status, no platform, no admiring crowd to perform for. And yet he became one of history's most respected minds, because his confidence came from something no one could ever take from him. His judgment. His character. His own mind, which remained entirely his even when his body did not belong to him. No audience gave that to him. No audience could ever take it away. That is the entire Stoic definition of true confidence. Not how you perform when people are watching you. But who you remain when they've gone, and the room is empty, and there's nothing left to perform. Think about the people in your own life who carry themselves with quiet, steady confidence, the kind that doesn't need to announce itself, doesn't need constant validation, doesn't shrink the moment no one's paying attention. Now think about the people who only seem confident in front of a crowd, and fall apart the second they're alone with their own thoughts. The difference between those two people isn't talent. It isn't luck. It's where their confidence actually comes from. One built it in public, borrowing it from other people's opinions. The other built it in private, earning it through their own actions, whether or not anyone was there to notice. So the next time you're alone, no audience, no approval, no one left to impress. Pay close attention to how you treat yourself in that silence. Do you keep your word to yourself? Do you follow through when it would be easy not to? Do you respect the person you find in that quiet room? Because that version of you, not the one you show the world, not the one performing for an audience, is the truest measure of who you actually are. That is where real confidence starts. Not on a stage. Not in front of a crowd. In an empty room, when the audience has already left, and it's just you, deciding who you're going to be anyway. If this shifted how you think about confidence, subscribe to True Stoic Journal. Every week, we bring you daily Stoic wisdom, real philosophy, applied to real life, to help you build the kind of confidence that never needs an audience to exist.